Hey, good morning. That was the start of our new intro song. That was a little special sneak peek, I suppose. But good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am Badass Buddha. I am also known as Dr. Lori Monaco. My business is Align Yourself Inc. I am what am I? I'm an authenticity teacher, coach, and speaker. I have a fabulous program called the Fat Eviction Program, and I am a chiropractic physician coming to you from cold and icy Southern Connecticut.
Good morning, buenos dias, mija, namaste, and namaste to Bridget and Tiffany. Good morning. I am La Margarita coming to you from sunny, semi-chilly Tampa, Florida. I am a spiritual and creative healing life coach. I am your notary and your wedding officiant. If you're in my neighborhood, come on down. I got you. You say I do. I say you're done. Let's do this. I'm your writer and your artist, and I am honored to be here with all of you. So, buenos dias, mi gente. And let's have a great show today. Let's have a great day today. Like after the show, let's samba off our cheers and just get to the day, right? Because that beat was really good on that intro. Dun, dun.
Absolutely.
I saw it was like the conga line. Dun, dun,
dun. I agree. How's the weather down where you are?
It's it's been on and off. Like it was really cold on Saturday, and then Sunday was 70 something, and then yesterday it was warm during the day but chilly at night. And right now it's 64 degrees
in the morning. So it's been all over the place, I guess. Today, right?
It'll be high 75 by 4, but then it's gonna go down to 61 tonight. So yeah, it's been up and down.
It's been just crazy over here. We have had so much snow. Then it was like yesterday was snow, then it went to rain, then it was icy, and it was just like I was talking to a new client yesterday. She's up in Mass, and she said the same thing. It was snowing and then turned to rain while we were on the phone, and she was just like, yeah, I'm kind of done with all this. Like, but there's just so much snow on the ground. It's not going anywhere. I mean, this doesn't happen too often anymore. We don't see it as much, but it's, it's nice to look at, but it's so much more of a challenge to like get around when it's like that. I don't care what anybody says. I have four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive makes no difference in ice. And so when you have icy conditions, like yesterday, I had to drive in it with a two-wheel drive car, and there was like people spun out. People just drive too fast for conditions, or they're either too fast or too slow. Either way, it's just like I just want to get the hell home, and and thank God everything was fine. So, but yeah, I'm ready for that sunny, more predictable type of weather. At least no snow.
I think with the global warming and the reality of it that many tend to ignore, I think when we have cold days here in Tampa, especially, I feel like there's still hope. There's still hope. We can still do something to change the trajectory of the world just going into total like chaos.
Yes. So we have to do it soon, though. That's the other thing. Like we've we can't keep ignoring it and going, oh, we have to do something. We'll have to have a show on that one day and just get some experts on that, or and because I think that a lot of people still, like, they'll say, well, I do my part, but it's like when you look at the thing globally and go, God, we're really screwing stuff up. And when to figure out, there's that argument, what have we done? What is natural? No matter what they say across the board, we've whether we did it or not, we sped it up. That's one thing that they do agree on, is that it's moving at a faster rate because of what we've done. So what can we do to prevent that? But that's an interesting twist, the interesting conversation that we start off with.
Well, because you said that the snow isn't, it's been becoming less and less, and I'm thinking, well, that my son mentioned that too, and I said, be grateful that it's snowing the way it is, because that gives you some time. It gives us all hope that it can. It's like the universe is saying, look, I'm going to make it cold everywhere. I'm going to blast Texas and Louisiana, where they hardly ever see this, because I'm telling you, hurry up and let's fix it. And we're just like, oh, I hate the snow and this is awful, instead of looking at it for what it is. And it's kind of scary, right?
So I was watching I just got a quick glimpse of the Weather Channel this morning, and they showed, and poor Texas, boy, they are still just, I mean, they're really in bad shape. There's nothing worse than losing power, but especially when it's cold, and especially when you're not used to the cold.
Absolutely.
But they apparently on the shore, all these sea turtles washed up because they were like freaking out. Like, why is it so cold? Because they're not used to it. 2,500 sea turtles. And so this organization over there got all their volunteers in the midst of all this, got their volunteers rescued, and they had them laid out in a building. And you should see, it was the weirdest sight to see, just all these turtles just sitting on a blue tarp, 2,500 of them. And they're trying desperately to keep them warm because there's no power. But I just love seeing that stuff, because I know, we have our own issues as far as humans go. We're without power. People have no houses. They're just like in really bad shape. But to also go above and beyond and save, especially sea turtles, because they're not their population's not great. 2,500 of them. That would be a huge loss. Not to mention what already was lost that we're unaware of. But so I love that. That's those are the things that I love about humans, is that, like, in these moments when we help each other, and then we also help, even though we're in crisis, we're still helping around. And I think it's just beautiful.
It is. There's a Mexican group that I love. I can sing their song out to you. And they're proceed, Mana. They're called Mana. And when they do concerts, that's what they do. They save those baby turtles that are making their way back, after they're hatched. And they put them, the organizations, like wherever it's needed, anywhere in the world. So I think that's beautiful that they only focus on them little babies who know. I mean, look at it. They're like, oh, they're helpless. No, they're not. We are. They'll hatch. Their mama gone. She's like, laid her eggs and she's gone. They hatch and they know immediately what they need to do.
Yes. Yeah. They're just helpless because there's seagulls waiting.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we were just talking about this because we went to the aquarium on Saturday. So we were just talking about this. I was talking about it with my youngest one, and the seagulls just wait. Then if they make it to the shore, to the water, there's like all these other critters waiting for them to come in. It's just, and so good morning, Liza. Good morning, Nicole. Who are we missing? Good morning, Maria Garcia. Who else is in the house?
Buenos dias.
Nancy Green, good morning. And Kimberly Sanchez, good morning.
Oh my goodness, we're all in the house to talk about sexual fantasies. This is phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely. But before we get started on that, let's talk about, we'll set our intention, we'll set our mantra, and I don't know, you want to mention coffee, since it is a show about coffee, loving coffee?
I am like almost done with my coffee.
Oh, it was a
Like,
fast drink today? Is that what you're saying?
like I filled my Frida Kahlo cup. It's really a big mug. See, it's big. It's as big as my face, and I'm almost done.
Must have been a rough night drinking that coffee quick.
So coffee is life. It's like, no, I didn't. I don't have anything to say about coffee other than it's life. It's my morning sun. That's it for today.
Wow. Short and to the point. Short and to the point.
That's
And
it.
remember, everybody, share what coffee is your favorite or what you're drinking this morning. Love to
Yes,
hear.
please. And is Iritza on? I can't see if Iritza is on.
I didn't see her yet.
The
Not
birthday
yet.
girl's not on.
Oh, it's her birthday today? Oh. Lillian's on. Good morning, Lillian.
Good morning, Reina.
And oh, good. When she comes on, we'll sing her happy birthday. Liza Tuck says, "Wish we could hatch new breed of humans that get along with everyone and anyone and everyone."
I know. And Nicole says they have cycles like we do as well. Hello, Nicole Young. Good morning. I love seeing them all. Yes, Café con Leche is my orgasm. Black coffee is too much like adulting, and I'm just like, I fight it, so I don't really have much. You say something. And today I'm drinking Café Bustelo.
And speaking of which, there was a coffee brand that, so on our Instagram page, we will post something, and we sometimes try to tag as many coffee companies and cafes. And there was one that mentioned twice how happy they were for this particular broadcast.
Yes, I loved it.
It was, but it's a pretty well-known coffee company, which I thought was just so funny. I'd imagine that some were probably like, "Oh, I'm not going to touch this one." And but you know, the whole point of this conversation today, it's not just to have fun with and have our own spin on it and talk a little dirty, but it's also just to talk about like the idea of it. So
it was Café Bolero.
Cafe Bolero, right? Yeah. So Liza says, "Coffee is my lover, a beautiful lover from Bali." Oh, nice. I wish I was in Bali drinking the lover, because drinking it here is great, but drinking it over there would be even better.
Let me tell you, I drank when I was in Bali. I think every morning our driver was like not happy because I needed to go to Starbucks. And the coffee they gave us, you know, we had like I don't know what they were called, servants or something, but the coffee wasn't right. So when we found the Starbucks where you sit on the floor with the pillows, it was just so culturally Bali. It was wonderful. I think we set out, Lillian, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we set out to go taste that their coffee, you know, the one with the poop in it. But I think we missed it, right, Lil? I don't think we did. I don't think I was that anxious to drink that one. But yeah, I love their Starbucks coffee. It was amazing.
I'd be that anxious to drink that one either.
I don't know what happened. I think it started raining when we were in the right.
You get a couple of nasty coffee places around town, you probably have some poop in there too. You know, I mean, that might be adding the flavor to it. There's probably mice poop in a lot of that stuff. And it says on.
Oh,
good morning.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Go ahead. Say your part.
She said, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Welcome
to the overstepped. And then Lillian says, yes, we skipped on that.
Yeah.
I don't really blame you at all. I mean, I don't think the idea of going to Bali is really, can't wait to go to Bali and try the poop coffee.
Sumatra, it was something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to, but then I was like, yeah, I don't know, because then I don't know what changed my mind. It'll come to me. But yeah, so good morning, everybody. Buenos dias, namaste. Thank you for waking up with the Gladiator Guru and Badass Buddha and Frida. So we appreciate you. And I'm just so happy. Liza, Bridget, Kimberly, Michelle, Lillian, Nicole.
Happy birthday to Iritza. So that's beautiful. Thank you, Tribe. We love seeing that. Erica's on.
Erica.
Holla. I got it.
You were practicing?
I got it this time. That's it. All right. I get happy when I hear that name. It just makes me smile. Okay.
It tickles you right underneath the navel.
It does.
Exactly.
Okay. Which is one of my fantasies, by the way.
Oh, look at
that one's boring. Okay, so again, we're going to do our intention and our mantra with regards to holding the Black History Month. We're going to have quote, and then we're going to do our intention and our mantra. So I have the intention for today, and the quote that I'm getting it off of is from Lena Horne. It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. And that's a quote from Lena Horne. So the intention for today is, I can't even read my own handwriting. I can't really read my own handwriting. I am strong. The load I carry today feels light as a feather. So your intention that you're saying is setting for yourself today is, I am strong. The load I carry today feels light as a feather.
I like that.
Liza's being dirty, I think. She said Lori likes a little cream in her coffee. I like a lot of cream in my coffee.
Tell me, what does that mean? I'm like,
Okay, mantra lady.
Yeah. I have it. Where? Okay, my mantra. What did you read first?
I read the quote first, and then
yeah, my quote is from Harriet Tubman, because it relates to a lot of us, where we think we are and where we really are. She said, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves.
Oh.
And the mantra is, I am fulfilled. I am fearless. I am fulfilled. I am fearless. All lives matter. There we go.
All right. And let's see, we got a lot. And so this is great. We love all the banter. Liza says, I love my belly button. Let's see. Editha says, I hate my belly button.
Oh my God. My mom too, even in her dementia. I went to clean it yesterday in the shower. I don't know. This lady gets strength when she wants to like tell me to go fuck off and hit me away. And she's like all slouched holding on to the sidebars in the shower. The minute I put the cloth there, it was like, whew. Don't fucking touch my belly button. I'm like, all right, you gotta get cleaned. Not me, you can lick my belly button.
Good morning, Sonia Rodriguez is on. Good morning, good morning. Okay.
Good morning, Sonia.
So this conversation is a two-part conversation, and we're very excited about Thursday's show, because Thursday's show we are having a sex therapist on, and we're going to get more like really into the psychology of it and what she's experienced and what are some of the conversations and what's healthy and what's not. So today we want to talk more about the generalized idea of sexual fantasies. We're going to talk about sexual fantasies in general, like what's popular among men, women. And so basically we're going to just focus a little on the psychology of it today, very little, because we really want to give that platform to the psychologist, the sex therapist. And so we're going to talk about why we have them. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they important to mental health and well-being? What do they say about the person? And do we care even, So we both did, we both looked up some stuff. We had a meeting on this yesterday and we did some research. And so what do we want to do? How do we want to start this? How do we want to start this conversation? You want to share yours? Which one?
It's like Which
What did you
one?
say to me? Oh my God, what did you say to me yesterday? I said, oh, you have to say this tomorrow on the show. You said you live yours.
Yeah, I don't know. Like right now, I am a I put myself on to be celibate, right?
Right.
It's like I promise ring myself or whatever, but I'm still horny. I still, I'm like, it don't matter what I do. There's nobody in line. I can't say anything, but them damn doorknobs, whoo, they're getting sexy again.
I only like them if they're vibrating doorknobs. But anyway, so go ahead.
No, see, I'm the vibrator. That's why I don't own no vibrator. I don't need no vibrator, girl.
Oh my God.
Well, so yeah.
Yeah. So she said yesterday, she's like, I live myself. I've lived all my sexual fantasies. I actually do them. So she's like, I don't really have any fantasies left. And we were talking about, I said, I happened to catch a glance. The TV was on and it was really late at night. And you know how they have these long commercials sometimes with these really the late night shows have these really extended commercials. And I walk into the room and there's a woman holding a lavender vibrator and she's holding it and it's for Adam and Eve. So if you know what that is, they've been around a long time and they sell the sexual toys and stuff, but it was set up like a home shopping network like little thing. And the lady, and so it's got the little thing scrolling on the bottom, how to order it, the price, and and the lady's going, so so this is the rabbit, and and she's like talking all about it, and she's just holding it up like
caressing it.
And it was just so funny. Like I'm looking at this going, oh my God, and she's so serious. She's like, yes, so this is really good. Like she's just talking about it. I'm going, oh my God, that's so funny. And had all these nice little curves and all these little doodads hanging off. And looked kind of complicated, but at the same time, very intriguing at the same,
I don't, when I got married, Tiffany as a joke gave me that emergency one. So it was like this thing. This little, and I would just use it like with Eric before I knew he had ALS, and he would like, oh, I'm tired, and turn around, I'm like, what? Do I have to pull this out and pleasure myself? So it's like, I was like that type of, it's you or this, what? Are you going to watch? So yeah. No, I never like really owned one. Good morning, Stephanie Nieves. So Liza says, well, why talking dirty is pleasing to some and not others? I don't know.
You mean you're talking about before or during sex? Is that what you're talking about? That's something we'll probably have to ask the therapist, right? But that would be but that's a good question. Why talking dirty is pleasing to some and not to others? Yeah. And I mean, is it before leading up, sort of like a foreplay, or during? Because I think a lot of men get off on that. I think a lot of men love talking dirty, but they like being spoken to that way as well, I think, right? Like they have that, it's not even a fantasy, it's a real life thing,
I never took the time out to ask him because I told you I don't take one for the team. So I'm not here to please you. We're here to please each other. But the thing is that, me personally, I like it. I just don't like to be spoken to during, like asking questions. You want me to do this? You want me to shut the hell up and do what you got to do? Like you're taking too much energy.
Have a conversation right now.
Yeah, do you want? But how about if I do this?
God. Well, actually, okay, before we get into that, since you brought that up, what about the like when they want to have a conversation with you, that's just like a conversation. Do you need me to go like pick up like lunch today? I mean, like, are you kidding? Like,
oh no, shut up. That's when you be like, man, get off. I don't care who you are. My husband, my lover, it's like, I don't. And I always start relationships.
Lillian goes, I used to sell adult novelties. The Bullet was the top seller. It was the industry I made the most money in. Because we're just like obsessed with that stuff, Lillian. That's, oh my gosh, that's so funny. But it's true. It's that industry has really, I mean, grown hugely, especially in the last 20 years. So, all right. let's talk about, let me give you, this is some of the things that I got. I did some research and I found a great article in Psychology Today. The Safest Sex, it's called. So there's a Columbia University psychologist, Dr. Ethel Pearson. She says, we talk about almost everything. We tell each other almost everything, our sexual habits, we lust for, what we lust, who we lust for, how much money we make. But I do not know the sexual fantasies of my closest friends. We regard fantasies as too revealing. They're treasured possessions, yet we're ashamed of them. And she said that is your phone on in the background? I keep hearing myself.
Not me.
Oh, okay, that's weird. I'm getting anyway. So she says that even to this day, there's still like a taboo on it. Even though we're very open about stuff, people will share sometimes more than you ever want them to share, but there's still a little bit of it. And that even like you may share. So what she's also saying is that sometimes we share the surface of them. So like we might be joking around or talking deeply with friends and share sexual fantasies, but we don't always, we don't go to the deeper stuff that might be considered, okay, that's like judgment zone, you're crossing the line, like she said that there's a lot of, or actually she didn't say this, but the article says that misconceptions of sexual fantasy started with Freud. And Freud, he's such a miserable motherfucker. He was just high all the time. And I can't believe they still to this day use his stuff when he was just stoned out of his mind when he wrote all this stuff, his theories.
But that's why Carl Jung left him, decided to do what he did.
Because just ridiculous. So anyway, he says, his quote is, a happy person never fantasizes. Yeah, as he was saying that while he had his what in his hand, as he's writing it with the other hand.
But isn't he the one that said we don't dream in color either?
He said a lot of stuff that's not accurate anymore. Newer research says that fantasies and a healthy sex life is strong. Actually, it says fantasies make a healthier sex life. It makes it strong, and it's now considered pathological not to have sexual fantasies. Lots of guilt. So what happens is that there's still this stigma attached to it. So some people still to this day feel guilty about having sexual fantasies. So the guilt is often around moral beliefs or religious beliefs, and they contradict, they're what you're taught and what you're supposed to do. But then you have this fantasy in your head, and oh my gosh, they're not jiving together. So that's not really good.
I think they gotta lighten up. Those kind of people gotta lighten up and come in. To me, it's like if I can't talk to you about what I want to talk, then you don't belong in my tribe and I don't belong in yours. Because to walk on eggshells, if you're that much of a prude, find a group that fits your aesthetics or whatever. I want to talk like Liza. I want to say I like a good blowjob, and it's
really vocal this morning.
I don't really care for 69
is a good number.
I don't like that because I can't focus. Okay, I can't focus. I'm feeling good and trying to make you feel good. So you know what? It's you do me, I do you. If we got time.
So Kimberly Sanchez says it's being judged. It's fear of embarrassment. And the interesting thing about that, Kimberly, is the fact that those that are judging oftentimes are also the ones that have that stuff going on in their head. Yeah. And they're a lot of times they're sitting on their high and mighty horse that judging, but the reason they're doing that is because they don't want other people to know. And theirs are probably worse. That's it. It's like theirs are probably worse,
Tell us one of your fantasies, Lori.
Mine was always
badass. I want to hear you with the leather pants, a leather bra, and a whip.
So mine definitely, and that's actually a really common one, is that domination or submission type of deal. And mine was always like, I liked either or of, one or the other at any particular time. I loved that idea. I loved that idea of being, it being a little bit forceful, or me being the forceful individual. And so, and when we were researching it, it's like, that's like the most common request, like most common sexual fantasy. I don't know, outdoors, being outside, taking a hike and just like dropping down on the trail. Places that are not really like an elevator, like stuff that you don't, that's a little, you could get caught, that kind of stuff. Those have always been mine.
How many have you done?
Then there's above and beyond, and we'll talk about that in a second, because we'll talk about the differences between men and women, and we'll elaborate a little bit more on ours.
Read Liza.
Oh my God, yes. I'll have what she's having.
She said, I want to whip Lori's ass on a white horse. Oh my God, I love that. I love that.
I always told Liza that too. I used to say, see, I this is how I compliment women. I'll say, I'd do you. I'd switch teams for you. And I used to say that to her all the time. I'd switch teams for you. She's got to be a hottie. And I always used to say that, you got to be a hottie. You're probably a wild one.
I like that. I like, Steve, let me tell you something. I like to be, Irita wrote that she likes oral sex when she's talking about it. That was a joke. But I like when they speak Spanish to me, though. Like, there's just something, even if you don't speak Spanish, I'm going to teach you what I want to hear. I used to teach my husband that, because Eric's black. So I was like, you have to say there's this practice. At least I wanted to hear one little, accent to it. And he learned it, because there's just certain things I learned myself at a young age. So I know what I like. And then he would say certain things. And I just I think that's such a turn on for me. But what's a real
That is very sexy. I agree with you.
Yeah. And
especially Spanish. I out of all the languages, French does not do it for me. It's Spanish. I agree.
And Italian. That's on my list. Hold on. I gotta find me an Italian. No, I'm not an American Italian. I want to Balenciaga.
Italians always sound like they're singing, so it's like I don't know if I want to be singing. Well, anyway, I don't know. But hey, that's your fantasy. So okay, so we know. So language. Okay. Mm-hmm. Any particular thing they're saying in Spanish, or is it, like, is it dirty stuff? Is it just what they think of you? So that's the other thing too, is that speaking sometimes is a fantasy, especially for women. But what is it that they're saying? What is, are they saying what they're going to do to you? Are they saying,
no.
You already like that? But
no, I want them to romance me and make me want to take off my own damn clothes as they're moving their tongue around without talking intercourse or anything. It's just, like tirando piropo, like saying, if that hair is so beautiful, I'd like to grab it at the nape of your neck. Anything that's not like sex, but that leading to sex, yes, that'll get me to be like, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? What you were saying, huh?
Sonia says, I get aroused when a man is into me and tells me how much he wants me. Yes, absolutely. And that is a really, you know what? It's funny. You would think it would be most common in women, but men love hearing that as well. Men love women to say stuff to them like that, because even though a man can come across like he's all that, and he still likes that reassurance that you're into him.
Oh my, and it's so simple. Oh, my king, look at you. Oh my goodness, you're so cute. Boom, that's it. Oh my king, I've been thinking about you all day.
You should write an instruction manual. Okay, this is where oh my God, like piece by piece. Like the chapter one will be dirty talk or foreplay talk, and then sex talk, and then like you could give everybody like a script so that they could follow suit if they're having a little trouble with that.
Oh my God, you gotta do that. I know it works all the time. Like, oh my king, I've been thinking about you all day. My clit has been dancing and blah blah. Boy, I get everything. Well, I got past tense. Good morning, my beautiful daughter, Tiffany Torres, and I love that my daughter does not get embarrassed. Men absolutely want any need to hear. I say it all day to my husband. Want it and need to hear it, yeah.
Nicole says, Liza says, I'm going to try it tonight. Okay, good. Don't forget to talk about your dancing clip. It's really important.
But I mean, just by saying, oh my king, today I was washing dishes and I got a vision of you naked. I was like, whew, so big. Boom. That's why they're like, ooh, their egos like that. They're like,
there is the fantasy. The fantasy is thinking about the king.
Yes. And Liza, they want to lick your toes. And I love when they suck my toes. But I mean, yeah, so that's what you got to do is just when you see them or right before they come home, say, oh my God, I was, putting the clothes in the laundry and all of a sudden I saw a vision of you and how, that package. And it's like, yeah, they love it. They'll be like, whoo-hoo.
Role playing. Yes, role playing is very common between both genders. So actually, do you want to add more of your fantasy stuff?
No, I want. See, Liza has been to the audience. Ask the audience to share their fantasy, like your fantasy, not what you like. And
share like what you've been wanting to do. The king will be ready to do whatever you want to.
That's my daughter. She knows. Okay, so everybody share it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Nice.
What's your fantasy? And while you do that, so part of the reason why we have sexual fantasies has to do with the fact that we have an internal stimuli. Like sometimes we just bring it on ourselves, but it's an external. It sort of triggers it. So it's what we see, it's what we hear, it's what we read. Men tend to be more sex driven. Women tend to be sex, romance, personal, emotional. All right. So, like for instance, women think this. So this is what women tend to fantasize on. The look of the guy, the style of the guy, they get attracted to like uniforms. Are they a fireman? Are they a cop? That was always my thing. A guy in a uniform, holy shit. Like
it's a hoe. A guy in a uniform is a whore.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, hey, who are you telling? Anyway, it's but like army guys, like any of that stuff, role playing, strangers, doing this. So that's part of role playing is where you don't know each other. That's a fantasy, like, or even a real one where you just meet somebody at a bar and you just hook up and then you never see them again. Group sex threesomes, women on women. Now this is women. So this is what women were polled. Not every woman is going to feel this way. Spanking, begging, domination, submission, being tied up or forced, and then voyeur. Either they're getting watched by somebody else or they're watching somebody else. Now men, and they're so similar, really. Men is domination, submission, threesomes, orgies. They like the fantasy of an experienced woman being with somebody very experienced, being with a virgin. So much for this group. Anyway, attainable. Oh, unattainable. So they have fantasies about librarians, women, nurses, cheerleaders, even whores. Didn't think they were unattainable, but the price is right. They're also big into voyeurism, them being watched or them watching somebody else. Sex in public, sex in nature, watching two women, in other words, not actually like a threesome. So they're really quite similar. It says romance and genitalia dichotomy isn't the only major difference in male and female fantasies, according to a report by Littenberg and Henning. Men are more likely to imagine themselves doing something to a woman, and their fantasies focus on her body. Women, on the other hand, tend to envision something being done to them and to concentrate more on their partner's interest in her. Male fantasies more often involve sex with two or more partners at one time. In one study, a third of men had fantasies about sex with multiple partners, twice the number of women. Guys are also more likely to switch partners in mid-fantasy. Both sexes imagine overpowering a partner or being forced to submit to another's wishes, but men are more likely to have domination fantasies, while women tend to see themselves submitting to a partner's sexual wishes. One researcher reports that 13% of women, but only 4% of men said that their favorite fantasy was being forced to have sex. Men have a greater variety of fantasies, asked to check off all those that they had experienced in the past 3 months on a list of 55. Male collegians indicated 26 of them. Women listed only 14.
Well, you know what? Women with the fantasy. No, I don't know. But yeah, Liza, I like to watch women on women porn too. Good morning, Anna. Kimberly, of course, every man, and if you do it out of the blue, it grabs their attention. For the rest of their day, you're all there thinking about. If you call them or you text them, "Good morning, King," I turned my head to the right and I saw you and I'm thinking about you. Oh, I miss you. That smell. Thank you for this. Whatever. Anything that they think you're not gonna notice. And trust me, and you're not lying. If it's somebody you really enjoy, you just need to remind yourself that that's what you like about it. What's a sexual fantasy where I can scream at somebody is when I see a man of caramel complexion with a nice full beard, dressed in black, like a black button-down black pants, nice clean shoes, and then he speaks, and he has like that manly radio broadcaster voice. All I want to say is, "Fuck me. Hi. By the way, I'm Margarita. Do me this solid," And that's like, because I love a well-kept man, and I don't really care for a lot of cologne because some men don't know how to just pat and just all over.
Right there.
But I like a man who smells like soap. Like if he took a shower this morning.
Oh my God, I do too.
And he's walking by me, and I'll be like, "Damn, you smell good," And so that'll be a sexual fantasy. Any man who has like that beard, like I can't even. And then they're dressed in black, but neat, yeah. I'll lick it.
Oh my God. So let's read some of these things. So Liza says, "I'm going to tell my husband, honey, you're so hot and good looking. Bite me." Let's see. Nicole says, "I love having sex in the water during kayaking and camping." Damn, you're talented if you're doing it in the kayak while you're going down that river. Damn, girl, you're good. Edith says, "I like role playing." Kimberly Sanchez says, "I text my hubby a couple of times a week. I tell to send me a pic or two, and they are always sexy and it really gets me going. He loves to be called king." Edith says, "I want to do it in the car." Liza says, "My fantasy is to dress up in full Victoria's Secret outfit and have my husband feed me chocolate and ice cream. Let it melt over my ass and lick it. He needs to be in a doctor outfit." Liza, you go, girl, man. I love this. This is fabulous. This is Litsa says she's a virgin again. You go, Litsa, that a girl. Let's see what else we have here. Where are we talking? Liza says, "Yes, watching two women." You already said that. And yes, a huge fuck me sign flashing. Liza says, "Ooh, Liza's horny this morning."
What the beer when you see?
Oh, look, Jody's on. Jody Williams is on. So Jody, this is fabulous. So this is going to be fabulous conversation going into Thursday's show for with our sex therapist Jody, because we're all going to be like, we have a lot of people on already. We want to see even more people. We want to hear what the professional has to say and have fun with this. So my ex and I had a whistle out on the water. What I don't understand. My ex and I had whistle out on the water. A blowjob in a kayak.
And I think, you know what? I think with all of this, I think if there's no harm, I think let your inhibitions go with the wind, or let it stream down with the semen. Do something. But I think we all need to fulfill those fantasies, even if we talk them out loud, right? We keep them all bottled up, and you ever met somebody that was so frustrated and moody and just miserable, and then the next day you're like, "Oh, they fucked." They fucked because their mood is totally changed. And they're like walking they're walking with a little pizzazz, like their joints got oiled and stuff, and now they're a little more flexible. And that's what we need to do. Sometimes we just need that type of exercise to get it out.
So Anna says my list is long and I have fulfilled most already. But you could repeat. I mean, it's that's the whole point. It's just and I think part of it too is that we're afraid to maybe say things to the partner, and the partner may or may not be afraid to say to you. But it also has to be like one of the things that we definitely are going to talk about on Thursday is not, it's one thing to have them, but when does it cross over into, unhealthy? When does it cross over into being uncomfortable? So I think men prefer hearing women share their fantasies because women tend to hold back so much more. Men, you give them just a little bit of one question and they'll like run right off. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, this, so they have no problem. And so I think guys even get off of the fact that women like sharing their fantasies. And it's such a huge part of a relationship that if things are going stale, that's something to consider. Let's maybe work together. Like, let's think of things together. Like maybe there was something that you haven't thought of that we could think of together. Honestly, I'm bossy and demanding, and even in bed.
Yeah, Anna and I, we're two peas in a pod. Like I told you, most of my fantasies, I've done it. And yeah, the bossiness. Yeah, Anna and I go way back, right, Anita? So, yeah, my ex-husband was like that, from misery to happy. Yeah, and sometimes that's all we need, but we don't know how to act for it. And absolutely, what the badass said, as long as it's not going to be harmful in any way, it's supposed to be fun, it's fantasy. But me, when you're with someone, I really don't share all my stuff with the partner that I'm with, because men have this tendency to hold it against you too. Or if you learn something, if you're doing something new where you learn that from, I'm thinking like, if you enjoy each other right in the middle of it. Or just say that if you want to try something new, text them, call them, send them a picture of your tit. I have a nice tit pictures with pearls. I dress them up. And I have fun like that. I even send them to Lori. I'm like, look at my boobs. I love that. And, so I'm just saying, like,
flash me when we're on a meeting.
I love to flash. My mother's like, here you go again. Don't let me get a new bra now. We could be in Ruby Tuesdays. Oh my God, look at this bra. I don't care.
Liza says jerking my husband off on a roller coaster. Just Liza, make sure you're in the last seat, because whatever happens is going to hit the people behind if you're in the front seat. So that's all I got to say about that. Just make your sit.
Well, your husband's brave. My husband, I tried to do that. Like when he was driving and he got so paranoid, he had to stop the car. He's like, you can't do that. What if the police got? It was just awful. It was like, you know what? Let's just go home already. But yeah, so if he let you do that, that's phenomenal. You have a partner in crime right there. Some people want things done in their head, but once you actually do it, they get freaked out.
Nicole says, my ex wanted me to dress up in a short plaid skirt and fuck him in his huge closet in his bedroom. Maria says, wear something sexy with some heels. Yeah, I mean, these are all really, really, these are all fabulous. Oh my God, Sonia, did you see what Sonia shared?
Oh my God, Sonia and I have been friends, I believe, since the 7th grade. I love her.
That is a fantasy, by the way.
Phenomenal. Let me tell you about Sonia. She works 3 jobs. She's a registered nurse. She's a phenomenal mom of 5 and a grandma of soon to be 2, I believe. And I love you, Sonia. And thank you for taking the time to be here today. But yeah, I breastfed my daughter till she was 2.5. Right? She would just walk from anywhere and latch on. So I always had excess milk. So I've always flashed my tits. And I mean, I had my kid at 17. So Sonia's talking about like, wow, before I was even 20, and I would take it out and go, and it would just squirt out at people.
But like I said, that's actually a fantasy for some too. That's a total fantasy. So as we're winding down, so the thing is that as we're going into the Thursday conversation, it is, and I'm going to say oh no, go ahead. You had to say something, Lydia?
Did you see Liza? I'm sorry. I am so loving the communication
I know
today.
Liza's out of control, man.
She's like, come to my house, Lori.
She's going to get off this call and go attack her husband when she's done.
I like Maria Garcia. I remember that she did to me too. I did it to everybody who was my friend back in the day. Sonia's like, that was Tiffany's milk you were wasting on me. So, it's like the memories. So Eliza, you heard it. She says, CUM to my house, Lori. I know. Girl, Liza's my type of people. That's it. That's it. You're free-spirited in a way that you're authentically you. I don't care who gets offended by what I say, because for those that mind don't matter. Right. So go ahead.
So what I was saying is that one of the conversations we're going to have on Thursday is, when, we all have them. I mean, that's the reality of it, is that we all have them. It's how vocal we are about sexual fantasies. That's really dependent upon us and who we feel comfortable with. And I know Gladiator Guru said she doesn't like to share everything because things can be used against you, especially if you're sharing things that you've done before, and I've had that happen to me before. I've had a partner get pissed off at something that I did long before I ever knew him, which was just so ridiculous. But the other thing too is that even going back, my fantasies are one thing, your partner's fantasies might be something else. And it doesn't always mean that you will mesh either. They may want something that is just really crazy and uncomfortable for you. And I've been one of those individuals who, when I was younger, was sort of, I allowed myself. So, I take full responsibility, but I allowed myself to be pushed into something that I wasn't comfortable with. And and that sets a precedence too. So sexual fantasies are meant to be exciting and fun. And sometimes you do them and sometimes you don't. Sometimes they just stay a fantasy, and sometimes you're fantasizing as you're with somebody, so they're meant to be healthy and safe and enjoyable. Not if you're in a situation where you're uncomfortable doing it, then it's not good for you, and we'll elaborate much more on that when we're talking to Jody on Thursday.
Yeah, sometimes a fantasy should stay between you and your personalities and have fun with it. Right. You don't always got to live it out, and you don't share it. Some men can handle you at your greatest, which I'm always like too much. They've all told me. But, some can handle you there. Eric, the one man who accepted me fully for what I was and indulged in my fantasies, he's the one man that gets ALS and dies, so it's like, fuck. But sometimes you just keep it to yourself, and sometimes you enjoy it, and sometimes you talk with your friend. And I just think it's healthy. All I want to say with that is it's healthy for you to think and role play it in your head. You're not a bad person, and you don't have to live everything out that you think. So it's like, you got to learn how to balance that fucking scale of orgasms.
And I think it's really important for us as a tribe to really step up to decide. I know you're reading Liza's stuff, to decide that, let's talk about these things to our close friends. Let's be open. Because sometimes just the conversation is good enough. Let's not be afraid to have the conversation with our friends, have a glass of wine and say, hey, you know what? I was watching this show and they were talking about sexual fantasies, and let's share some. And if somebody's embarrassed, and say, no, this is a safe place, because this is this is great conversation. Some people have sexual fantasies that are a little off, people have fetishes, like foot fetishes, or but it's, if we go with from a place of not being judgmental, and saying, hey, you know what? Because again, probably more people than you think have the same fantasy that you're thinking is, oh my God, this is a terrible fantasy to have. But somebody else probably has that fantasy of your friends. And it might even be just great to just talk about it, but especially knowing that it's a safe space and it's not going to be shared.
Yeah. Now, this is true. One of my fantasies I have not lived out is I want to try a strap-on on. But that's what Anna says. Anna says, oh, thank God I met you after I had enough trauma with you jumping in the bathroom. Maria's like, it's true. And I was like, no, Tiffany thought me and Margie were gay when we was young. And we said, share your fantasies, not my shit. Okay.
Oh my God, that's so funny. And like, we have to say what Liza wrote. So Liza wrote, yes, like the Love Boat, exciting and new. And then she put, come aboard. We're expecting you. Come aboard, CUM. Oh, Liza, you are out of control this morning.
I love it. I love it.
Fabulous.
Listen, I think that we are sexual beings. We are sexual spirits. And I think worrying about what other people are going to think, it inhibits us to just be in this box and only venture out a little bit to smell, taste, and feel what is our right to feel. And, you know, I think that if you're like the badass Buddha said, if you're not hurting anyone around you, you're not putting yourself in a dangerous position. Either if you're comfortable just role playing it in your mind and masturbating, then go for it. Touch your body. You know, sometimes I wish my tit was big enough that I could, because it's mine. It's my tit. You know what I'm saying? And people are so like walking around with this stick up their ass. Oh no, I won't do that. And then they do it all secretly. Then it makes them feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. Right. It's your body.
That's right.
It's your body. You have every right to tell someone what you want and don't want done to your body.
And listen, you hear men say that all the time. I've heard multiple men that I've been with say, I wish I could bend in certain directions and I wouldn't, because so they can get themselves off with their mouth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's almost like men, like men can get away a little bit more with saying certain things, whereas women, not so much,
Bye, Sonia. Sonia has to go back to work. Let's say bye. Sonia. But I have a good one.
Young says that's been on my lives for weeks. The Love Boat. Let's say.
But come on, Lori, talk about the Love Boat. Look at she's like new ventures moving in 2021. And what were you? I sang the Love Boat. She texts me like a couple hours later. I can't get that damn song out my head. So what do? I YouTube her the intro of the song.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's 3 times the Love Boat was mentioned in a week span. That's so funny. Oh, because my God.
Life is to be lived. Life is to be enjoyed and on your terms. No one else's.
That's correct.
No one else's. You live it. You be free with it. One of my fantasies that I got to do was to be in a hotel, but be against the big window with the curtains open and be up against it. And everybody... Well, my husband was fearful of it, but I said, you better do it. Like that devil voice came in, like you ain't backing up now. And it was like such a freeing experience. Not that we had sex the whole time during that, but just knowing that I was pressed against that. And, the doggy style, then you like up there. And it didn't have to last long. It was just something that I wanted to do, and I did it. And then we finished off away from the window where his comfort level was then, giving fulfillment. So and it's just little things like that. But
it's nice of him to take one for the team.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what? It's really where your comfort level is, and it's you fulfilling what your fantasies are, and you doing what you want to do when you want to do it, and with whom you want to do it with.
And look at Jody Williams, our therapist, our sex therapist for Thursday. She said, I'm so excited for Thursday. This is amazing. Yay. We are very excited to have you, Jody. This is, I wouldn't be shocked if the conversation went past 9 o'clock because we want to make sure that we start on time on Thursday and all of you jump in on time so that you can see the full thing. And what we're going to do is make sure that we just jump right into our mantra and our intentions so that we get Jody on like right at 9:15, because sometimes we do go a little long-winded.
8:15.
8:15. Thank you, Guru. So wonderful. So this is great. So it's time for us to go. Spread the word because this is a great conversation. Share. these videos, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, and then see if you could get some of your friends on for Thursday's conversation, especially the ones that you know have been pretty grumpy and maybe need to have a little bit of a release. So
That's
maybe
it.
they will. God knows, I'm curious. I would love to be a fly in the wall in the Liza Tuck residence.
Oh, me too.
As soon as we're done today, because her husband, if everybody's still full distance learning, her husband's in for something really special.
Well, yeah. And if she does a great job, he'll be like that fireman holding that hose, putting out all them fires. Girl, let me know.
And then Jody says it's going to be so juicy. See, we picked the right sex therapist for the show. She's going to be fantastic. This is so great. Look at Liza says, spread them, girls. Oh my God, this is awesome. Well,
Francia came on late, so I just want to take the time out, and I'm sorry, Badass Buddha, for cutting you off. To thank everybody who came on today, and everybody who came on today participated, and we love you so much more for that.
Yes, absolutely. You guys were absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much. So, all right. So we're going to call it a day. We will see you guys on Thursday. And from me, the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
Amen. And from me, your gladiator guru, breathe in the beauty, breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.